Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring. This is ABC Big 2 News at 10.
Developing now at 10, just 10 days into Russia's invasion of Ukraine, nearly 1.5 million people have left the country torn apart by war. The UN predicts as many as 4 million people could ultimately leave Ukraine. That would make it the biggest refugee crisis of this century. Good evening, I'm Rob Tuke. Thanks for joining us tonight. And as this situation grows increasingly dire in Ukraine, more and more people are boarding trains out of the country to escape the danger. That's quickly developing into a brewing crisis in neighboring countries. And the Russian Defense Ministry said it reached an agreement with Ukraine on evacuation routes. Before the announcement, Russia's military caused growing misery in Mariupol. Doctors made unsuccessful attempts to save the lives of injured children as pharmacies ran out of medicine. And hundreds of thousands of people faced food and water shortages in freezing weather. And we warn you, this next video you may find disturbing. Ukraine's armed forces released a video on social media that shows a chopper flying low to the ground before being hit by a missile. The helicopter then crashes to the ground and explodes. This is just one incident of thousands happening across Ukraine. And as ABC's Benjamin Hall reports tonight, there is no indication of an early resolution.
Ukrainians are making life or death decisions in the midst of the worst fighting the country has seen since World War II. Many have fled to neighboring countries with only a handful of possessions.
We took only our dog and my backpack.
We left everything. We have no nothing. We have no clothes. We have no nothing.
This woman bringing just a few photos with her to remember happier times, as well as who she was forced to leave behind.
I took my daughter and I hope we'll be alright. But I left my husband and I miss him.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken Saturday paying a visit to a refugee camp in Poland. The border is quickly becoming overcrowded amid a flood of non-stop arrivals. 10 days into Russia's invasion of Ukraine, nearly 1.5 million people have fled the war-torn country. The UN estimates the number of refugees could ultimately reach 4 million, which would make it the worst such crisis of the 21st century.
When we started, I thought, well, maybe this is, God forbid we reach that figure. It's a lot, but now I'm getting worried that we will.
Talks between Russia and Ukraine on Thursday recognized the need for humanitarian corridors to help civilians escape the crossfire. But just hours after the two sides agreed to a temporary ceasefire, Russian shelling resumed in multiple cities, halting evacuations.
And Belarus, which has been hosting diplomatic talks, has said negotiations will start up again on Monday. Now, WNBA player Brittany Griner was detained in Russia after customs officials said they found hashish oil in her luggage at an airport near Moscow last month. New surveillance video tonight shows when customs agents found marijuana vape cartridges in her baggage. The Customs Service opened a criminal case into Griner, who is a 7-time WNBA All-Star center for the Phoenix Mercury. Now, the U.S. State Department said it is aware of the detainment and working with her legal counsel. Closer to home tonight, a live look from our Midland Tower camera. It was windy today, creating some concerns over fire conditions, but that red flag warning has ended. Here's ABC's Big 2's Bridget Sarpong, the check of our weather for us.
And now your forecast first on ABC Big 2 News.
Rob, I'm smiling huge, and just like all of West Texas, we're smiling huge because we've been looking forward to this weekend because it was a warm weekend. Today, West Texans were able to enjoy a high of 77 degrees and a low of only 47 degrees. Usually around this time, we're definitely used to temperatures sitting at 68 for our highs and 41 for our lows. A record of 89 degrees. Even though we weren't warm today, we were still warm. I have more of this windy and weather forecast later on the show. Back over to you.
Well, thank you, Bridget. Now, Hobbs police are investigating a crime spree that started at a dealership. Officers got called to Permian Toyota on North Grimes Street in Hobbs, where they learned someone broke in and stole the keys to 3 cars. Now, one of those cars was an $80,000 red 2022 Corvette. Now, police say this man, Andrew Simpson, got into the Corvette and left the dealership. A short time later, police say Simpson was at a Dollar General with a small child with him. Police say he tried paying verbally, then lunged at the cashier when he was told no, and then took items and left. He's since been arrested and charged with 3 felonies. And we're learning new details about a deadly crash in Midland. A city spokesperson said a driver was killed after crashing into the back of a Midland Police Patrol SUV. That crash happened on the overpass of Loop 250 and A Street just before 3 early this morning. 28-year-old Nicholas Casillas of Midland was killed. His passenger and the MPD officer were rushed to the hospital. Both vehicles were heading eastbound when the Altima struck the MPD Tahoe from the back. The investigation is ongoing. And we're learning the name of a driver killed in Midland County overnight. DPS said in a press release 23-year-old Jose Ruben Beza was killed after veering off the road on County Road 130. 2 miles south of Midland and just west of County Road 1200. The crash happened just after midnight. No other cars were involved. Troopers said after Beza's car left the road, the car struck a metal fence and then a tree. And tonight, there's a big effort to slow down distracted driving in the basin. It's all part of a class held at Medical Center Hospital in Odessa, led by frontline healthcare workers.
March 13th of 2021, my son is now a statistic in this group because he lost control a little bit in the gravel, tried to overcorrect, and he just rolled it 14 times. That's what the witnesses said.
Now that was Tommy Garrett speaking right there. He works in the OR at MCH, and he lost his son to a car crash last year. His son had just started college at Texas Tech. Tommy shared his story because he said his son was driving distracted moments before his death. Now today's class was all designed to show our local teens what distracted driving looks like and how to put an end to it. The class got a tour of MCH, including a behind-the-scenes look at the trauma center. That's this picture right here. There was also discussion about why young people are involved in these deadly crashes and the common factors behind reckless driving, things like phones and alcohol. And at one point during the class, goggles were used to demonstrate what intoxication looks like. Not surprisingly, no one was able to walk this line well. You're about to see it in just a moment. And those students right there made the best of it. Putting those goggles on, there were 2 types of goggles, one that showed a much stronger level of inebriation. Now this made for a small moment of levity today during an otherwise serious subject.
Makes the line like there's multiple versions of the line, so you can't tell like am I on the right or the left of the line. Yeah, it was really bad. I was on the wrong side of the line completely.
But after that hands-on demonstration, there was another speaker today. It was Bryn Dodd, who is on the board of directors for the Ector County Hospital District. And we spoke with Bryn last year during high school graduation. Today she shared her story again, but this time with this class. Her son, 18-year-old Evan Hill, was a passenger in a car when he was killed in a 2-car crash on 52nd Street in Odessa back in 2020. Both drivers involved died too. Bryn said distracted driving was just one of the many factors involved in that crash that claimed her son's life.
I think when we talk about Evan, we just want him to be remembered, number one, but number two is that a lot of choices were made that night. A lot of kids made several different choices, and we want kids and adults to think twice before they make decisions.
Evan was an elite soccer player who was also a caring person. Now 2 others survived that car crash. Now, with spring break coming up, I asked the trauma outreach coordinator at MCH about some valuable advice to consider while out on the road.
Find a safe driver, find, somebody that hasn't had anything at all, regardless if it was, I had a drink earlier, but it's been long enough, find that sober driver, find that safe driver, that way you can get, safe home. Everybody wants to come home to their families and vice versa. Their families, they want their kids to come home safe.
And Watts said she hopes teenage drivers will consider all their choices carefully. And today also marks the anniversary of a Midland police officer's tragic death. Officer Nathan Hayden Heidelberg was shot and killed in 2019 while responding to a burglary alarm at a home in Midland. The Midland Police Department shared these photos on Facebook of Heidelberg's fellow officers paying tribute to the 28-year-old officer. MPD released this statement saying in part, Hayden gave of himself each and every moment that he served this community, showing unmatched compassion and kindness towards those unwilling to return such benevolence. A jury in the case of the homeowner who shot and killed Officer Heidelberg was found not guilty of murder in December of last year. David Wilson claimed self-defense of his home from an intruder, not knowing it was police. And coming up tonight on ABC Big 2 News at 10 o'clock, party goers were having a blast, raising the roof at one birthday party. Harrowing new images also shows when they fell through the floor.
And well, friends, a sunny Saturday in the Permian Basin. It brought grilling, swimming, and smiling temperatures. Will tomorrow be a repeat? I'll have that answer after the break.
And a local high school baseball tournament wrapped up today. We've got highlights coming up. Stay with us.
Idol is celebrating season 20 in style and bursting with talent.
You might be the biggest star we've ever seen.
American Idol! So good!
So you're in pain today. I understand back pain. The new patented anniversary heirloom mattress actually lifts your body and all your pain points, found exclusively at Bob Mills Sleep Spa. Time to get you out of pain.
Dang, son. This bacon is just hanging out of this burger, dog.
That nice, tangy smoked sauce.
The bacon on this burger is just asking me to eat it.
You should oblige.
Sonic bacon on bacon, quarter-pound double cheeseburger.
When you have a big family like ours, you're always looking for a great value. That's why we bought our new home from A1 Homes. We traded in our mobile home and got a great deal on a new one. The best part, now another family can purchase our pre-owned home at a great price. A1 Homes can also help you find land and financing. They have homes perfect for any size family. A1 Homes, trade in, trade up, serving Midland and Odessa. Se habla español.
A1 is number one.
Join us at Johnny Carino's for our 5 for $15 ribeye steak and shrimp meal deal. Enjoy our Italian nachos appetizer, juicy char-grilled ribeye steak, crispy Parmesan shrimp, your choice of pasta, a refreshing beverage, and our fresh baked bread for only $15. Dine in or take home for a limited time. Plus, join us for half-price family platters every Monday after 4 p.m. Choose from a variety of our signature Italian dishes served family style, such as our classic hand-breaded chicken Parmesan. Hurry in for dine-in or take home at Johnny Carino's.
You ever feel like life's out of control? Maybe alcohol, drugs, sexual abuse, divorce, or anger has touched your life, and you feel like things are never going to get better. There's hope. It's called Celebrate Recovery, a program based on the truths found in the Bible, the ultimate recovery manual. If life is an endless cycle of hurts, habits, and hang-ups, Celebrate Recovery is the place for you. For more information, call us, Kelview Heights Baptist Church, 682-3842.
I feel like they've just...
ASMR.
ASMR.
We're pulling internet out of your room. Sonic double stuffed Oreo waffle cone and blast.
You're getting cut off.
Get ready for your day with meteorologist Ryan DePhillips. Your local weather authority forecast.
Well, friends, it's Saturday. We've been looking so much forward to this day because it's a warm day in the basin. Today's highs, West Texans enjoying 77 degrees. Our lows, not too bad. We woke up to 47-degree temperatures. Usually around this time in March, we're definitely used to 68-degree temperatures. Our lows, not too bad, just 6 degrees warmer than what we're used to. Usually 41 degrees is our low. Today we're warm, but not as warm as how we were back in 1991, where we were sitting at a nice and steamy 89 degrees. Taking a look at our lows, we did come in sitting at just 11 degrees back in 1989. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. The main story for today is our highs and how warm and how hot it got. And speaking of the hotness, taking a look at the entire Permian Basin, everyone pretty much sitting in their upper 70s to their lower 80s. We have Big Spring sitting at a high of 77 degrees. Oh no, Midland and Odessa sitting at 77 degrees. Big Spring 79, tying with Snyder. But we do have some areas that did reach their 80s, such as Presidio, where it's nice and warm, sitting at 81 degrees. But then we do have Dryden sitting at 83 degrees. But we did have some areas that did not reach their upper 70s or even they're close to the 80s, such as the Gulf Pass, when they're sitting at a nice and steamy, others will say it's cool, 64 degrees. So definitely not too bad bad whatsoever. Now, right now in this moment, we have cooled down. Temperature is sitting at 53 degrees, partly sunny, partly windy, partly cloudy, a little bit of everything right now. The stars are out, perfect enough to take a look at the stars when you can, but the clouds, they're out there. For tomorrow, though, our 7 a.m. is when we will see some sunrise, and then by the time we get into 6:50 p.m., that's when sun will set. So between 7 a.m. and 6:50 p.m., temperatures are going to look great for a picnic, only because by the time we get into 8 a.m., we will be waking up to some 49-degree temperatures, and then we increase all the way close to 80 degrees, sitting at 78 degrees by 4 p.m. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. Some really good grilling temperatures. The wind was front and center today, and that wind's going to continue to be front and center as we make our way into Sunday afternoon. Winds will be sitting in their upper 20s. We have 29 miles per hour in the Midland and Odessa area. Presidio is sitting at 27 miles per hour, tying with Van Horn, but there will be some other areas that will be sitting pretty high, such as the Guadalupe Pass, sitting at 33 miles per hour. So really pretty much all Sunday it's going to be windy, so do be sure to hold on to those lashes as you are going to church, because you're definitely going to need to. Between the lashes and the wind and the temperatures being warm and the low humidity, we do currently have a fire weather warning going on in the entire basin and lasting until tomorrow 9 p.m. Central Time. It does say Andrews, Loving, Ward, and Winkler County, but really throughout the entire Permian Basin. We are going to wake up tomorrow morning at 46-degree temperatures, warming up very quickly, close to our 80s. Winds will begin to be front and center, sitting at 10 to 15 miles per hour, but we're not going to stay in our 40s for too long. We actually make it to a nice and warm 78 degrees, partly sunny. The sun's going to be out, some clouds, but also the wind, Rob, and I'm excited because 78 degrees, that practically is 80 degrees, and that means what? Summer, just a little bit, dare I say summer.
It's not too bad, and sounds just appropriate. I was walking out the back doors, Bridget, and I looked outside and I saw the dust rising up from the ground coming straight towards me like the Sandman. I said,
You got it. Yep, exactly.
And I walked right back inside.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Bridget. Well, one 18-year-old's birthday is one to remember, but not for good reasons. The entire floor of his home collapsed, leaving 3 people hospitalized. Now, that party quickly got out of hand, and video of the incident quickly spread on social media. Tonight, we are hearing for the first time the moments of terror after the floor gave out. ABC's Deborah Takahara has the story.
Arapahoe 911.
What started as a birthday party for an 18-year-old quickly grew out of control. Neighbors tried to warn authorities.
As it is right now, it's not an emergency, but that many people running around like that easily could turn into one.
The sheriff's office says 100 to 150 teenagers were crammed into this home on Princeton Place when the living room floor gave way and collapsed into the basement.
Arapahoe 911, where's your emergency?
We were at a party and the ceiling broke. There's people dying.
As first responders arrived on scene, the calls kept coming.
We're in the car, but when we're driving away, we're totally fine, me and my friend. We just want to make sure someone called 911.
Okay. Yeah, we have a couple of deputies there and a lot more help headed that way. Do you know if anybody's hurt?
No, I called a couple of my friends and everyone I know is okay, but people have to be hurt. Like, the full floor collapsed in and people were downstairs. A ton of people were downstairs.
And some callers were hoping to find information about their relatives and friends.
Okay, were there any fatalities? Or because my brother told me that a piano fell on his girlfriend, so...
We don't know that either, sir.
Now, that was a terrifying scene. Firefighters say it is amazing that no one was killed. 3 people were taken to the hospital, 2 with minor injuries, 1 with serious injuries. The district attorney in Aurora, Colorado says no charges will be filed.
And now your ABC Big 2 Sports.
Now let's go to sports now with Avi Carr-gloth. Avi, it was a busy weekend for high school baseball in the Basin.
It was also a really busy weekend for anybody covering those games too. Hey, the 48th annual Tournament of Champions finished up today. High school baseball teams from all over West Texas came to Midland trying to win some games, hit their rhythm, hit some baseballs too as they get March going. OHS and Permian, they each finished up their tournament play today. The Panthers, they actually ended up playing their last game at home instead of in Midland. So Mojo hosting Andrews, the Mustangs, they entered the bottom of the 4th up 13-4. But with 2 runners on, Xavier Melendez hits a fly ball to deep right center field. legend has it that ball is still rolling towards 42nd Street. Mojo, they trailed 13-7 after the three-pointer. A few batters later, after a pitching change with 2 on, Cal Warren deposits an RBI double to right. Both Gus McKay and Cooper Golden score easily. It's 13-9. Mojo would score 3 more, making a 1-run game when, with 2 runners on, Xavier Melendez gets a hold of one to deep left field. Forget about it. Panthers come all the way back to take the lead. They were down 9, and they end the inning. They're up 4 by the end of it. Mojo, they score 13 runs in the 4th inning as they come back and top Andrews in a slugfest. All right, Odessa High facing Randall at Momentum Bank Ballpark. Top of the 3rd, Raiders lead 2-0. Joe Luis Charles gets aboard with a leadoff walk. Next batter, Jamie Madrid shows he's bunting the whole way. Psych! He's actually taking a swing, and that ball drops in fair ground. Madrid gets the single. Charles advances to 3rd. Broncos have runners at the corners with no outs, but before the next batter, Madrid gets caught in a rundown after a big leadoff first. Charles tries to come home in the cast, but he's cut down right at the plate. So no run there, and then Tristan Ramos tries to salvage the inning with a deep fly ball to center, but Jake Scott goes full extension, says no sir. Broncos unable to score in the inning, and they're unable to catch the Raiders in this one. Broncos, they lose by 5. To the hardwood, the Sands Lady Mustangs from Ackerley have done it. They have won the Class 1A state title, winning earlier today over Robert Lee. Congratulations to the Lady Mustangs. Alyssa Martinez led Sands with 22 points, and the Lady Mustangs at one point scored 29 straight points across 2 quarters, and they forced a whopping 36 turnovers. Congratulations to head coach Ben Connell and his team for an all-time dominant season. They went 37-3 and had a state title. Not a bad season by any standard. Odessa College men's basketball, they fell today in their region's championship game to South Plains College. And the Wranglers, they lost for just the first time since November 24th. That was around Thanksgiving. Holy smokes. The Wranglers, they do miss out on an automatic national tournament bid, though they are still expected to earn an at-large bid. Of course, they're a top 10 ranked team in the country. The National JUCO Tournament begins on March 14th. All right, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, last regular season game for the Red Raiders. Second half, Tech up 3, and Bryson Williams powers by the defender. Throws it down, Red Raiders up 5. Later in the half, it's a 7-point game. Kevin O'Banner gets the pass and cash money from 3. Tech up 10 at this point, but late second half, it's only a 5-point game in transition. Bryce Thompson climbs the ladder and throws it down. It's only a 3-point game after a 7-0 run. Under a minute to play, same score. Rondell Walker gets the rebound and 1. The place is going crazy down there in Stillwater. Game tied late. Ensuing possession. Off the miss, Davian Warren skies for the go-ahead tip, and Tech goes up by 2. Next Cowboys possession, though. Thompson gets the pass in the corner, hits the triple, and all of a sudden with 2.3 seconds left, Oklahoma State up 1. Last chance for the Red Raiders to win it. Terrence Shannon, no, gets a lot of contact as his shot is blocked. No foul is called, and Oklahoma State upsets Tech by 1. So, Rob, Tech, they're going to get the 3rd seed in the Big 12 tournament. They're going to face Iowa State on Thursday, and then soon, Selection Sunday, March Madness. It's coming up. It's around the corner. I cannot wait.
As if we haven't had enough madness already, let's get some more chaos out there and going. I haven't asked, who do you have on top in the bracket? Have you thought about that yet?
Give me until Selection Sunday. How about that?
All right, no, that's fair.
Still figuring it out. Conference tournament's still got to happen.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, thank you, Avi. Well, it's like chicken soup for the soul. How a bowl of soup is helping feed our community. Find out more right after the break.
Cavender's Spring Roundup sale is going on now, and you can get $10 off select men's and ladies' jeans from Wrangler, Harriet, Cinch, and Rock and Roll Denim. Going on now at Cavender's.
People ask me all the time, how come the best crawfish come from Louisiana? You know what I say? Clean water and blackjack mud. Louisiana gold as far as you can see. These crawfish get way down in the mud where it's cool and keeps them fat and happy. Each season we catch millions of pounds and they go straight to HEB. Now this is my Louisiana gold. I said bon. This is the best live crawfish department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
The perfect getaway. Okay, thank you. Stay connected anywhere.
It's so pretty. Do you like it? It's a new style. It's an oasis.
It's delicious.
It's elegant. It's relaxing.
The MCM Elegante Hotel and Spa.
There are almost 1,000 youth in foster care in this part of Texas.
You can give back to your community by getting involved with any organization that helps.
Our hope is to bring change to the Permian Basin by getting our community involved and bringing kids home to the Permian Basin.
You can be an advocate, you can donate, and you can volunteer. Doing so will transform lives.
Visit getinvolvedpb.org.
The Cavenger Spring Roundup sale is going on now, and you can get $10 off select men's and ladies' jeans from Wrangler, Ariat, Cinch, and Rock and Roll Denim. Going on now at Cavender's.
Watch Good Morning Basin from 5 to 7 on ABC Big 2.
Well, new at 10, it's that time of year again to fill a bowl for a community need. West Texas Food Bank's annual Empty Bowls event is happening this weekend at UTPB. ABC Big 2's Ozzy Mora joins us in the studio tonight with a look at this special event.
You know, I always say this, if you can give back, at least give back with a smile. But in this case, this is an annual event that has helped the West Texas Food Bank provide millions of meals back into the community. It's actually one of their most significant fundraisers. I was able to meet with some of the people who make it happen behind the scenes.
Art student Emily Dawn at the University of Texas Permian Basin is one of the many who helped make ceramic bowls for the West Texas Food Bank's annual Empty Bowls event in Odessa.
It's just really neat to see how doing something I love can give back to the community.
And as to how many bowls she has made so far?
Too many to count, yes.
For just $15, you get a handmade bowl and all the soup you can eat. 100% of the proceeds from the event go directly into the food bank to help feed communities in the Permian Basin.
I've seen students transform their lives when they realize that the gifts that they have can actually go into the community and solve a problem.
Associate Professor of Art at UTPB, Chris Stanley, says the event is also to help raise awareness about hunger in the community.
About 30 years ago, there was a group out of Illinois that started this project with high school students, and the idea was to have the students do something for their community that was positive using art. And so the Empty Bowls idea kind of was birthed.
And says the event took off from there.
We're excited again to bring the event back to the community where it has that feel of getting to know your neighbors and spending a day interacting with each other amongst, just really beautiful handcrafted art.
West Texas Food Bank Marketing Director Craig Stoker says in 2021, the event scaled back because of COVID-19 restrictions.
It's that community feel, it's getting together and meeting your neighbor and seeing friends that maybe you haven't seen.
Stoker says more than 1,000 handmade bowls will be available tomorrow. Reporting live in studio, Ozzy Mora, ABC Big 2 News.
And thank you, Ozzy. To learn more about the event and how to take part, just head over to yourbasin.com. And still ahead tonight, there's a decent reason to bring back the mullet. Why one beer company wants you to relive the 70s with them.
See Big 2 Sports, brought to you by Glasheen Vaez and Inderman Injury Lawyers.
The Vineyard, Midland's premier master planned community, impeccable high-end luxury with resort-style amenities. These Silverleaf homes are located close to Green Tree Country Club and are walking distance to Faskin Elementary. Contact Alexa to schedule your private showing.
Russia invades Ukraine.
This is going to change the world.
Russian forces shelling Europe's largest nuclear power station.
Sadly, we must report the world is a far more dangerous place.
From the front lines to our homeland, the truth about what you need to know.
Vladimir Putin's latest statement that the worst is yet to come.
News Nation is news for all America.
We continue to bear witness to the tremendous resolve of the Ukrainian people.
For continuing coverage on Russia at war, stay tuned to News Nation.
Thomas Oilfield Services is having a job fair.
They treat you like family because everybody just works together.
They put me with guys that really helped me understand what we were doing.
On March 10th, we are hiring CDL and non-CDL positions.
And they put trust into their guys.
The fair will have same-day job interviews and on-the-spot hiring. Find your spot on the best team in the business.
It's a very good company to work for, and I'm glad I'm a part of it.
Thomas Oilfield Services.
Stan, why would Stanton Optical choose a penguin as their spokesbird?
They're not your typical eye care company. I'm not your typical penguin.
How is Stanton Optical different from all the other eye care services?
Reliable professional advice. Same-day glasses, unbeatable prices, and eye exams whenever you need them. I could go on.
Stan?
Yes?
How does it feel to be the new face of Stanton Optical?
We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait, you know what I mean.
Get 2 pairs of glasses plus a free eye exam, anti-glare lenses, and same-day service for only $79.
From the pump jack to the gas pump, renewables and more. Energy is what powers our local economy.
Watch Powering the Permian every Wednesday night on ABC Big 2 News.
Tonight, mullet haircuts could help you win big and win a lot of beer. Natural Light Beer is celebrating its 45th birthday. The company is rolling out vintage cans inspired by the late 1970s. When Natty Light first opened up. Now, if you want, people can get a mullet haircut. Post that on social media to enter a sweepstakes. The winner, well, they get a whole lot of beer, enough to last you 1 year. Now, here's the catch. You can't shave the mullet after you win. We'll be right back.
Weekend only at Ashley's VIP event. Save up to 25% off, plus get 0% interest for 24 months. That's up to 25% off your entire purchase, plus take 2 years to pay. Saturday and Sunday only at Ashley.
A fresh start begins with fresh choices, like choosing to save more with Suddenlink. Get reliable, high-speed 1 gig internet for just $49.99 a month. With it, you'll get a $200 Visa prepaid card, HBO Max included on us for 1 year, and a free Suddenlink stream with your favorite shows and streaming apps all in one device. Choose to start fresh by saving more on our fastest speed. Plus, as part of optimum flexibility from Suddenlink, there are no contracts or hidden fees. And unlock even more value when you combine with Optimum Mobile. Visit suddenlink.com today.
Want a plan that can help you save on electricity when you use it most? Give Pick Your Free from Reliant a shot. Choose free electricity on flex days, weekends, or nights. Now powered by 100% solar energy. And you can track your free electricity with the Reliant app. Pick your free and score free electricity when it counts. Reliant, that's power. Your way.
Ring in the new year with Music City Mall. Put those gift cards and Christmas checks to work at more than 100 merchants. You'll find something for everyone. Beautiful Kendra Scott jewelry inside Dillard's. Fashion for every occasion. Shoes galore. Enjoy delicious food inside our food court. Or skate the all-new Rink and Roll roller rink open daily. Round out your visit with a trip to Sephora at JCPenney. Music City Mall, where you have it all. JBS and 42nd Street, Odessa.
This weekend only at Ashley's VIP event. Save up to 25% off, plus get 0% interest for 24 months. That's up to 25% off your entire purchase, plus take 2 years to pay. Saturday and Sunday only at Ashley.
Well, check out this video. Some moviegoers in Austin got more than they bargained for at the new Batman movie screening. You can see a bat flying around inside the theater. According to the viewer, management tried to catch it, but didn't have any luck. We're told the theater did offer everyone a refund, but a lot of people didn't take it, with the majority of the crowd staying, bat and all.
Well, friends, let's take one last look at that 7-day forecast. It's really going to just be sunny. Have fun and have a happy Sunday.
That's all the time we have for news. Good night.